Let me start that camera going. It's Boobies Day. Let's paint something to that effect. Let's see. I'm just gonna paint a pair of tatas on here. Here we go. We doing boobies today, y'all. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll go ahead and actually write what we're doing. This is, I'm gonna do it in nail polish, because of course I am. We're not painting birds today. And it's not going to be a spooky stream. Although, you know, cancer's pretty scary. So in that sense, I guess it's thematically appropriate, but also, and more importantly, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I figured I would do a breast cancer awareness stream. Welcome. Yeah, it's a breast cancer awareness stream, and I have pulled a bunch of pinks. In fact, almost every pink that I own. I left a couple on the shelves, and I swatched out the ones that I pulled just in a single coat here. To help me decide which ones I want to use for my base color. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of feeling this one here and this one here. But some of the other ones are real pretty as well, and some might just need a second coat. So I'm just gonna add a second coat on here and see if that changes my mind about what I want to do. And I don't know if I'm gonna do just one hand or both hands. I do have both hands prepped. So, you know, if I decide to do both hands, I can certainly do that. But we'll see what we get to. But yeah, I just thought it would be fun to do a little boobies stream. This was actually inspired in part by Marie, who is here in the chat. MDM Haynes 21 asked on the Discord whether anybody knew a good way to paint boobies on their nails. I feel like this one's more of a magenta than a pink, but yeah, and so I was like, I don't know, I've never done that. But we can figure it out. And also, the other thing was because if everybody knows Lizmo, Lizmo is doing, I think for several years now, Lizmo has done a breast cancer awareness event where she basically, if you use her hashtag, which, why did I not write down what her hashtag is? I can look it up on my other thing. But yeah, if you post with her hashtag any mani that has pink in it or that is pink, I think she doesn't even require it to be completely pink. It's just like, as long as it has some pink. Lizmo's Pink Challenge. That's what it is. Lizmo's Pink Challenge 2024 is the hashtag. So yeah, if you basically, only for a few more days now, but for the entire month of October, if you post pink manicure or manicure that has pink in it with the hashtag Lizmo's Pink Challenge 2024, and you tag her in it, so that's Nails of Lizmo, or you can tag the Lizmo's Pink Challenge account. She will donate 10 cents per mani to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And there's a couple of people, I think, that have done some matching donations, or have committed to doing some matching donations. So it's for a good cause. And I think last I checked, she was up over 900 manicures so far that have been submitted. So, yeah, so this is going to make one more that will that will get submitted for that. I'm also trying a different angle and sort of a different filming setup today, so hopefully it won't be too weird, but I'm trying something that will allow my YouTube camera to be like directly above this, but it might mean that things get a little weird when I start painting, but we'll find out. Anyway, so I don't know, which pink do you think I should use for my background? I'm thinking I'm probably going to do the actual design in white. Okay, so I feel like this one is automatically out because it's just going to be too hard to see the design against it. It's really cute. I love it, but yeah, I think it'll be too hard to see the design against it. And I feel like this one is more magenta than pink properly. And this one seems a little bit too, like, corally. So I'm kind of feeling this one here, which has a blue to teal shimmer, or this one here, which has a hollow flake. You choose hot oink. You know, there is no better typo than the typo that changes pink to oink. It's my favorite typo. I got fifth from the left or the far right. HT Life in Plastic, that's the far right one, yeah. I think I'm leaning toward this one. I think this is maybe the one to go with. The Bee's Knees lacquer, that's Bee's Knees lacquer unmade, is indeed gorgeous. I really like this one. This one is Wildflower Yippee Skippy. Ray, you like that one? It is very soft and pretty. I do wonder, though, if doing white boobies over top of it is gonna show contrasty enough. Marie, you think unmade is too shifty? I love that y'all actually can recognize which polishes they are when I haven't even said what they are. It's very funny. But of course you can. At least for some of them. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm thinking maybe the Holo Taco Life in Plastic is the way to go. And then, yeah, maybe we could do an accent with Shimmer Storm, possibly. Maybe we'll see how that goes. All right, whoop, and that just fell on the ground. Thankfully, it did not fall nail polish side up. All right, we'll just move these guys out of the way. All right. The Arcana, I really like the Arcana cat, but I feel like the Arcana is a little bit more magenta. Okay. So, I think, if I recall correctly, this is reasonably opaque in 2 coats. It's been a while since I've worn it, but I feel like it builds up all right in 2 coats. I did also put a coat of Dimension Nails Strawberry Soy Milk underneath, just because some of the colors that I had pulled were a little bit more translucent, so I wanted to give a bit more opacity behind them. All right. Marie, you're gonna have BIPOC boobies. My brain says BIPOC, but I feel like it sounds weird and maybe I should just spell it out. Or say the actual words. BIPOC seems wrong. How do y'all say that? How do you say that, Marie? Your brain also says BIPOC. All right, I feel better then. It feels a little awkward, but I don't know how else to say it that isn't like 15 syllables spelling out the entire thing. And you can't say by POC because then it means something completely different. Which, you know, can also be included, but anyway. I think this is actually maybe working out okay in terms of filming. I feel like I can kind of see my nails. So I don't know if any of you have checked out my my YouTube channel. I've been posting my live streams to the YouTube channel like the next day. And it's been real awkward because I've had like I've tried both, like the camera like way up in that corner and the camera way up in that corner. And in either way, it's just kind of awkward and off center and stuff. And I feel like this way is working out a little bit better. Does it work for y'all? Is this like, is it focusing all right and doing stuff reasonably? Is the angle awkward for you, or do you feel like it's okay? I'm also having a Radler, my favorite kind of Radler from Two Pitchers Brewing. I decided it was a Radler night. Focus is good, looks good to you? Okay. All right. Maybe I'll do a different color on the other hand. What do you think? I could do, on the other hand, I could do Yippee Skippy, and then if I end up doing the boobies on the other hand, then I could do them in black instead of white. That could be fun. Let's try that. Ray, when I'm derpy and I think BIPOC is bipolars of color. That's a choice, brain. You gotta like it when your brain just randomly decides to come up with some absolutely insane shit. I really like the shimmer on this polish. It's super sheer. This one was a sibling to, what was the Kermie it was called. The Kermit the Frog ones. This one was like inspired by Miss Piggy and the other one was inspired by Kermit the Frog, and they're like sibling polishes, but Kermie has a super pale pastel green base, but the same shimmer as this one. It's a really cute pair. I did adorable nail art with them. What was that? This summer? Spring? Can't remember. One of them was like a PPU color. For the, what is that? I've got like a fuzz in here. All right, I might have to, I think that's actually under the polish, unfortunately. We're just gonna cover it. It's under the polish. Y'all, I'm a wreck. You see this? It's not a Peggy stream if I don't frickin' smudge a bunch of shit. All right, we'll get there. I see Marie saying that Ray has won something, and so I need to scroll back up because I'm not sure if that's just about the thing that I read or if Ray has said something else hilarious. Oh no, it's still the bipolars of color. Your Cindy hand is pink, Marie, and your art hand is a Skittle. Ooh. I don't think I saw your Skittle. Did you post your Skittle yet? This is why you do one hand at a time? Well, you know, I guess. I'm just less of a coward than you are, Kat. Of course, you also want and expect your manis to last a lot longer than I do, so I'm like playing it Playing it fast and loose out here with my one-day manis. I did the absolute cutest mani today. I can't wait to show y'all. On Rachel. Rachel came by, my stepdaughter. So she is going to an annual event called Halloween, which you may be aware of if you are a Ludo fan. And if you don't know what Ludo is, then that's okay. It's a band. So anyway, she's gone to Halloween, and she was traveling today, so she wanted to have her nails done. Did Rachel get skelly nails? Yes. Yeah, so I did the skeleton hand giving middle finger on her middle fingers, and then just like the like, you know, 3 finger bone sort of tip thing on the other 3 nails there. And then for her thumbs, she got pumpkins. So, yeah. It was super cute. And she actually has matching hands, which, you know, I almost never do matching hands for myself. But she wanted them to match, so they came out super cute. I'm very pleased with them. And of course I took awesome photos. So I will be posting those sometime in the next couple of days, for sure. All right, here is, yeah, I think 2 coats of this is going to be fine. There's like a little bit of visible nail line at like certain angles, I think. But I think you'd pretty much have to have the light almost behind it for that to be an issue. So we'll just do 2 coats of this. Yeah, the nail design was like based partly off of Morally Gray Nails, who did a really cute one with where each nail is a different design of skeleton hands doing something cute. But we were a little bit pressed for time. It was going to be a lot of extra work to do something quite that detailed. So we sort of pared it back a little bit. She decided that the ones giving the middle finger on the middle finger were the really important ones. So I think what we'll do is we'll do our 2 coats on both hands, and then I actually I did some homework for this. I went to the Breast Cancer Foundation's website and I looked up some information, and I'm gonna share with you some stats about breast cancer. Because it's not the cheeriest subject, but it is pretty important. I had, being a woman of a certain age, my first mammogram recently. And it was not the most fun I've ever had, let me tell you. Getting the old tatas squished, not great. Yeah, I did not enjoy that very much. It was quite uncomfortable. But, you know, it was also like important and worth doing. Unfortunately, they were like, we can't tell for sure. We think it's okay, but we'd really like you to come back in and do it again. So I have a second appointment in November. I have to do the whole thing all over again, unfortunately. But, you know, it's important, so we're going to do it. And I do have one aunt that had breast cancer, so I don't think that I'm super high risk on that level, but, you know, pushing 50. I didn't realize, actually, that, so in Canada, they don't have you start doing mammograms until you're 50. unless you are deemed extremely high risk for some reason. So when I moved down here, my doctor when I got a doctor here, she was like, "Oh, you're overdue." I was like, "I'm not. I'm not though. I'm only overdue by your standards." So, because they start them a whole decade earlier here. But that's okay. Anyway, I'm not worried about it. I'm fairly certain that everything is okay in there, but we just gotta redo it. Apparently, a lot of people who have biggins have to have it redone the first time. Sometimes more than just the first time, because depending on the density of the tissue, it can apparently be a little more challenging for them to see what's going on. So now you know way more about my boobs than you probably ever wanted to, but there we go. So the language used on the Breast Cancer Awareness Month page is very gendered. I will say that right off the bat. They use the word woman when they mean people assigned female at birth. And men when they mean people assigned male at birth. And I'm just going to read out the stats. But, obviously that's a factor. So if I'm using gendered language, I just want to make it clear that's their language that they're using. And obviously we know that is not the whole story. So they say 1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. In 2024, an estimated 310,720 new cases of invasive breast cancer will be diagnosed in women in the U.S. And an estimated 2,800 men will be diagnosed with breast cancer in the same year. So there's a reason why when we talk about breast cancer, even though men absolutely can get breast cancer, and not just people who identify as men, but people who are assigned male at birth can absolutely get breast cancer. It just tends to be at much lower rates. There are over 4 million breast cancer survivors in the United States, which is kind of wild. It's amazing both that there are that many people who have had it, but also that there are that many people that have survived it, which is fantastic. Like, I know that the numbers weren't, the ratios of people who survived it were not so good many years ago, and so I think it's pretty awesome that it's very survivable for most people nowadays. That said, this year an estimated 42,250, yeah, that's a different numbers. 42,250 women will die from breast cancer in the U.S. this year. And approximately 30% of all new cancer diagnoses of any kind in women will be breast cancer. 66% of breast cancer cases are diagnosed at an early localized stage when it's easier to treat, which is why we go in for mammograms and we poke at our boobies and we check and talk to the doctors if we find anything weird. Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in women in the U.S. Now, here's some important information that is real fucked up and why we also really need to care about this shit, because breast cancer death rates are 40% higher among black women than white women. 40%. It's the leading cause of cancer death for Latin women living in the U.S. And, gee, I wonder why. Could it be because 47% of women put off or postponed preventative services due to costs? 49% of uninsured women delayed or went without care due to cost. Gee willikers, how weird that people would delay or avoid healthcare because it's expensive in the US of A. Poverty, less education, and lack of health insurance are associated with lower breast cancer survival rates. Surprise, surprise. And 30% of uninsured women were up to date with breast cancer screening in 2018 compared to 64% of insured women. So, I guess if you're living in the US and you are assigned female at birth, you better hope you have good health insurance, is what I'm getting out of this. 'Cause holy fuck. Yeah, Kat. My sarcasm does get a little obvious, I guess. It's real rage-inducing when there's something like this that, you know, if it's caught early, in a lot of cases, it's very treatable. And yet, so many people either aren't catching it early because they're scared to go to the doctor because of the costs, or it's being caught early and they can't afford to do anything about it. And so they're just like, well, I guess I'll die then. Yeah, you know, it's incredibly depressing that we live in this country where, you know, we have so much and we have all the technology to be able to do so much good, all this wonderful modern medicine. And there's still people dying of incredibly preventable things because of the cost of healthcare and health insurance. I am putting a top coat on right now because when I do the nail art, I want to be able to do some little corrections if necessary, because it's going to be sort of fine line work. I think it really depends, Ray, on the insurance plan. I don't know. Like, I know for my insurance, there was a question at the office whether they would cover the 3D scan. They weren't sure if my insurance company would cover the 3D scan that was, you know, the much more reliable for dense tissue. And so, you know, it may be the case that, like, maybe your insurance will cover the less reliable scan, but not the more reliable scan, and maybe they won't, you know, cover a scan as often, because I think there's like different guidelines for different medical organizations in the US, and some of them say every year and some of them say every 5 years or whatever. So, you know, depending on who that insurance company is listening to, they may or may not cover everything. So, yeah. So it's not necessarily covered. It depends. All right, so I might actually do the boobies on this hand in hot pink if we get to those. But these ones we're definitely going to do in white. So I think we'll just do a bunch of different shapes. We're just going to do different boobie shapes. And I think that'll be fun. And hopefully, y'all don't get too bored with me just drawing boobies and talking about boobies. Because I know how boring boobies can be. All chests are valid. All boobies are valid. It's so true. All boobies are beautiful boobies. Including two-footed boobies. Two-footed? Blue-footed. Most blue-footed boobies are also two-footed boobies, but, you know, it's not what we call them. Ah, that was really good. When I mentioned that I was going to do a boobie stream tonight, boy, And of course, the YouTube camera only runs for a half hour at a time. So we're started again. So since we've got a bunch of different synonyms for boobs happening in the chat there, what's your favorite? No, Ray, I'm not going to draw feet on my boobies now. All right, let's do some young perky ones here to start. Oh boy. And they're not going to be symmetric, because that's too hard to do. But you know what? The real life ones aren't either, so it's fine. They don't need to be. You know what I should have done? I should have dug out one of Brian's calculators, so I could do the upside down boobies thing with the calculator for the background. I think that would have been fun. All right, let's do some nice pointy boobies. Get some good conical saggers. These ones can be pointing down a little bit. There we go. What do we got? Okay, we got chesticles, we got tits, we got breasts, boobies, jugs, racks, melons. Melons, I don't know how I feel about melons. I've always enjoyed bazongas, personally. I think those are fun. I'm just gonna do like a little tiny pair here. Small and wide. For the wide, flat-chested ladies. 8008135. All right, let's see. Let's go with a nice big set for up top here. I'm definitely going to need to get some thinner going here soon. Whoop. Okay, well this one has some asymmetric nipples, but that is also totally valid, so. Raccoon eyes. Is raccoon eyes being submitted as a synonym for boobs? Or is this a potential breast shape? Marie, you're still on your first pair of boobs on the stamper. I feel like it's faster to do them directly on the nail, but it is, you can't really correct yourself so much on the nail. I like that you're using the stamper technique, though. I do think it's a really good technique, one that I use a lot. All right, so I guess the question is, I think I'm going to do them this way. You can't do them with your non-dominant hand? I mean, yeah. It's going to be tough when I get over to that other hand. If I end up getting over to that other side. I think I probably will, given how quickly I'm getting through these. All right. Raccoon eyes is a term for boobies? Really? Naiwa Nerd, I have never heard that. And now I'm sad that I've never heard that, because it means that I have gone my entire life not knowing that. But I'm delighted to know it now. That is a wonderful term. Raccoon eyes. Why raccoon eyes? Has anybody else heard that? The rest of y'all know about that one? Is it just me that didn't? I gotta tell y'all, I'm quite pleased with how these boobies came out. Oh, 'cause of tan lines. Oh, that makes so much sense. I love that. I think we're gonna do some full-on round ones. I think you pretty much need to have fake ones for this to be your shape if you're over the age of, I don't know, 16 or something. But you know. We'll go with the fully spherical, because even implants are valid boobies. Of course they are. What the hell? Oh my god, can you guys hear that? There's like the weirdest sound just started happening, and it took me a second to understand that it was Budgie Smuggler in her little condo behind me licking. I don't know if she's like trying to lick her tail or something, but yeah, she apparently was licking the cardboard, so it was making the weirdest noise. It did sound like a cat. It sounded weird to me. I don't know. All right, let's get some nice, long, saggy ones. Because I'll tell you what, I'm approaching 50. And it do be like this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, well, I didn't do the most perfect one on that side, but you know, that's okay, because maybe something weird happened to that one. And that's fine too. Okay. You may have to build from the nipple up on the stamper. What a statement, eh? I have to build from the nipple up. I'm going to take a nipple out approach. All right, let me get a little nail polish thinner on here. I have a lot of polish down here that is looking very thick at the moment, so I'll just get this thinned out a little bit, make it a little more workable. That way we won't waste too much polish. A certain amount of wastage is always inevitable, but... All right, let's see here. Let's do a pair like this. And you know what? This one has a mastectomy scar here. That's what we're gonna do. We'll just do a little scar tissue there, because that's a thing that happens to boobs sometimes. Somebody's boobs look like that for sure. I've seen some really beautiful tattoos. I follow a lot of tattoo artists on Instagram. It's one of the ways that I keep my algorithm from showing me too much garbage, is that I follow just a shitload of really awesome tattoo artists. And there's a couple that specialize in scar cover-ups, and some of them do some just incredibly beautiful work. I think that's what I would do if I had to have one removed, or both. I would want to cover that scar with a tattoo. and just turn them into art. Might as well, right? Ah! Well. Okie dokie. The Holo Taco brush is actively working against you. Which Holo Taco brush? Like the nail art brush? What's going on with it? I never did get their nail art brushes. They seemed like they should be fine though. The detail art brush, oh, it's shedding? Oh, that is very annoying. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Yours is also shot, Ruby? Yeah, I've been very happy with the Cirque one that I have. I mean, I have 3 of them, but I actually haven't even cracked open the other 2 yet because I kind of feel like I want to just have one going at a time. And then, you know, when this one starts to get a little too rough around the edges, then I'll crack open the next one. That's my plan anyway. Well, that nipple got a bit wide, but that's okay. Just got one lone booby off on that side. Its partner is somewhere in the ether. The Holo Taco ones don't have that nice metal tip. More like bristles stuck in a ballpoint pen. Interesting. There are, like, this kind of thing. Because I have a bunch of these that I got on Amazon for, like, you know, $10 or whatever for a pack of, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them or something. And, like, some of them have been great. And some of them have been pretty crap. But I don't take it too personally because, you know, they were cheap. So I feel like if some of them fail quickly, then I don't really care that much. But I'm also very careful with my brushes in general. Like I really tend to baby them a bit. Which basically just means like they get cleaned after every use, and unlike my stamping plates, they get cleaned after every use, and they get oiled regularly, which really makes a huge difference to how well they last. But I've definitely had some that have died pretty quickly regardless of care. They're obviously just not good quality to begin with. So yeah, that is a very real thing. It lasted a year? That's not so bad. I mean, like they are going through a lot of wear and tear. So I feel like a year is not terrible. But, you know, I say that like a year is not terrible for a relatively inexpensive brush. If you spent a lot of money on it, a year is not great. I would expect more from a more expensive brush, personally. Like this, I got this trio of the Cirque ones at Christmas last year, or around Christmas last year. And yeah, this one is like barely showing signs of wear. It's not 100% perfect, but it's definitely pretty darn good. All right. Let's see. I'm just back reading here. Ray, you got some Amazon ones as a D-Stash gift with purchase, and they've been working great? Yeah. Yeah, I went years with just using the cheap Amazon ones, and I'm still using the same cheap Amazon ones that I originally got for a bunch of them. Yeah, this super fine tip, I haven't found other ones that have the super fine tip. I'm sure other people make them, but the Cirque is the only one that I know for sure. And yeah, you can see that like the very tip is curved now. And that's a wear thing. It's just, you know, it's kind of a permanent curvature now that it has. And so at some point in time, I'll probably trim that a little bit. But for now, it's still working all right. Aw, Marie. You finally got one pair of juicy tits on the stamper and then you stamped them too soon. That's the danger. You got to be careful. That's why I usually have several stampers going at once. Okay, time for a sip. Now, I think for the other hand, I do want to do pink boobies. But I have to figure out, I think I want a fairly dark color. So maybe like a darker magenta tone. Let me see what I've got in my Cremes collection here. Because I did pull a couple of, well, that's the strawberry soy milk. That's a jelly. But I chose a couple of Cremes that I thought I might want to use as a base underneath if we chose one of the more sheer ones, but neither one of them is dark enough to use over this. So let's see what we've got for Cremes here. All right, I have I'm Over Brew. I have High Tea Hibiscus. Hip Vine is more purple. Oh, and also Hip Vine just fell on the floor. I have Potatoes and Molasses, which might work. Do I have anything else that's dark enough? I think those are pretty much probably the best choices. All right. Oy. So yeah, I think hello from New York. My favorite nail tech. We're doing well. We're doing some breast cancer awareness nails. We're making boobies. All right, so I think, what do we think? We could go with the more sort of desaturated Potatoes and Molasses, or yeah, it's Potatoes and Molasses. Could go with the real punchy High Tea Hibiscus, which is probably the closest match to the shimmer, but is definitely not quite the same color as the shimmer. And then I'm Over Brew for something a little more dark and vampy. Or we could go purple. What do y'all think? I'm seeing purple nurples from Ruby. Ray likes the one with the gold cap. I think that's a pretty nice color combo. We can also check it. So we've used this color here. We can try all of them on top of it and see what we think. Don't worry, Ruby, I'm not listening to you, my dear. All right, so we got this color. So that's potatoes and molasses. And high tea hibiscus. Got to make sure we get a nipple on there. And then I'm over brew if I can get the freaking top off. Apparently I haven't used this one in a little while. And then the last one is the purple. So that's hip vine. What do we think? Which one looks best over top of Yippee Skippy? Any votes? I'm kind of feeling the high tea hibiscus, the second one from the bottom. The purple is not bad, but it's a little more sheer. It's not quite as opaque as the others. And I feel like potatoes and molasses looks pretty, but it might be, I don't know if it's just like more, it looks more brownish over top of the pink, but maybe that's not bad. I think they look nice. I think really you could go with any of them, but I need votes, y'all. Which one do I go for? Either of the middle two, you think, Ruby? It is going to look slightly different on my nails too, because my nails are not white underneath. All right, well, since nobody but Ruby is speaking up, I think I am going to go with hibiscus. Oh, and Ray comes in with a vote for hibiscus as well. So there we go. That clinches it. All right, high tea hibiscus. And now we just have to hope that my left hand does an okay job. But you know, even if it does a really bad job, it's okay because, you know, it's just booby shapes. They can be anything. You could put eyelashes on some of these guys. They'd be pretty good. All right, get some little nipples on that. There we go. One set of boobies. Slightly shaky. Next set is incoming. Oh boy, it is a lot harder to do this with your non-dominant hand. Oh, Oh boy. There we go. Marie, you are not doing a bad job. You might be struggling, but that is not the same as doing a bad job. All right. I should have probably gone ahead and put another pair inside here before I did those other ones. But we're doing our best here, y'all. We're trying. Oh dear, that one went a little off the rails. I might actually clean that one up a little bit with the cleanup brush. 'Cause, oh boy. If your breast looks like that, you should probably go in to see a doctor if you haven't already. You know, unless it always looked like that, in which case it's probably fine. Okay. We'll get there. It'll be fine. Okay. You know, since I've done these different colors, I can probably submit them separately for Lizmo's nail challenge, and get an extra donation out of it. I think that's probably what I'm going to have to do. All right, let's try this again. It's not going to match the one beside it, but that's okay. They don't have to match perfectly. They don't even have to sort of match. They can be just doing their own thing, you know? They're just, they're fraternal twins instead of identical twins. I always thought it was really weird when people call their boobs the twins or the girls. It's like, what is that? Like, they're not people. You know that, right? They're just parts of your tissue. Oh boy. Yeah, left-handed painting on camera while trying to stay in view and in focus on two separate cameras at the same time. It's a challenge, I'll tell you. It's a challenge. But I believe in my left hand. Come on, focus up. You can do it. I believe in you. There you go. All right. So that's one finger done. Just 4 more to go, y'all. We've been doing this for an hour. I think we've done pretty well so far. I can definitely tell that this hand is going to be a little slower though. So what I might end up doing is fewer tatas per nail on this side. And I think that's okay. We're going to be gentle with ourselves today. We should always be gentle with ourselves about this sort of thing because it's for fun. It's not a competition. Nobody's life depends on it. And, you know, we're always just out here doing our best. Okay. Let's see here. Let's do a nice long pair here. Maybe a little bit of a flare. And then try and sort of match. They don't gotta match, but try and make them look like they're probably on the same person. I think that's good enough. Oh, that nipple ended up a little outside. We'll make this one the same way. There we go. Some nice ones there. camera stopped again. It always surprises me because it stops, promptly at half hour. And I never expect it to be a half hour that has gone by. It always just feels like such a short amount of time. So it's like, how can this possibly be turning off already? There we go. I agree with Ruby, Marie. Nail art is never a waste. And if it doesn't work, then you can try something different. You can just scrap it and start again. You can try a different way, or you can just keep practicing the way that you've been doing it until you get better at it. Anything that does not end up as a finished product on your nails is just training. There we go. Welcome to the Unsure Virgo. We're doing boobies. We're doing boobies today, folks. It's booby night. And we're pausing for a sip of Radler. I don't know if y'all can hear. Jammy Dodgers just did a big snore behind me. She's lying on the chair behind my butt. She had a big tiring day of turning 15. She and her sister, it was their 15th birthday today. They got a couple of new Star Wars Stormtrooper catnip mice, which are very cute. I should take a photo of those later and post them, actually. And they got some of those tube treat, the lickable treats that come in a tube. They got some of those as a little bonus snack. So they've had a pretty good day. Let's see. Let's do some smaller boobs up top here. Little round ones. You can't scrap it, Marie? You wanted these to look good to show off at a party? Oh, you know what? I really get it. I don't always do well in social situations, and I also get pretty anxious in advance of parties and such, especially if there's going to be people there that I don't know. It can be real difficult, but I do try to find the dog or the cat or the plant or the cool bug or whatever in the room, and sort of try to make it okay for myself that way. Whoop. That was not an intentional blob there. Your friend hosted a body art show that was just boobies and then did a follow-up of, let's say, gardens? Gardens, you say? Intriguing. Is your friend a photographer or a painter or what kind of artist? It sounds like it could have been a very interesting show. Oh, Marie. Well, I hope that you can take a little bit of time and refocus and just get yourself into a better headspace. I think those boobs have a unibrow. They're a little too connected, I think, maybe. I'm gonna just do a little bit of corrective adjustment here. That's the brush I want. It's like plastic surgery for nail polish boobies. There we go. You know, they can be close together, but I don't want them to look like a unibrow. Okay, that's better. Your best friend's party and you haven't seen her since June. Can you hear the cat? Oh my god, she's so funny. It's just such a ridiculous animal. Sometimes she really gets going. Okay, now let's see. I think we're due for some more conical boobies on this hand. I think me laughing might have woken her up a little bit. Because she stopped snoring. Your friend is a painter and specializes in female form and the monstrous feminine. The monstrous feminine. I think I can intuit sort of what that means. And I think I love it. You'll have to drop a link if you're comfortable doing so. I think that would be cool to check out what your friend's work is all about. Because I always think it's fun to see what artists are doing in every medium. Especially when they are trying to look at humanity. I mean, in a sense, all art is trying to look at humanity, but some of it is looking a little more deeply than others, so I don't know. Get a little round one here, and this person has also got a little scar here. I don't want the one person on my other hand to be the only set of boobies that is missing a friend, so there we go. And then we get a little nipple over here. There we go. Oh, and my acetone is evaporated a little too much. I gotta refill that. Oh my goodness, excuse me. The only problem with drinking a Radler while live streaming is that Radlers always make me burp. Every time. It's the most effective possible way to make me belch. Which naturally makes for just a perfect stream beverage. Okay, I think we're moving on to this last nail. I don't know how much Tata we're going to be able to fit. I was not actually planning on doing a conical set over here, but that's what my brush did, so that's what we've got. That one's got a little bit of a smudgy nipple, but you know, smudgy nipples also valid. Oh boy. Well, that almost went completely haywire. Instead, we just have a slightly asymmetric set here. All right, maybe one more right down near the bottom here. Just a little pair. I'm not even going to be able to fit the whole thing on there. Oh boy, my polish is starting to get real gloopy. There we go. We did it! Incredible. Incredible. Unsure Virgo, I'll see if I can find the link and send it afterwards. It's more about reinterpreting the beauty standards. I love that. The Red Aura Shimmer, this polish is Yippee Skippy from Wildflower. This one was polish pickup from the cartoons theme one they had this summer. I think it was, well, wait, does it have the date? It does, but it's kind of cut off. It looks like it says, what's the 6th month? Is that June? July? I don't know. Looks like it says 6/24, so. People will be playing Find My Type of Boobies, yeah. If you see your boobies on my nails, you don't have to tell me. But I hope you like the way I painted them. You can tell me if you want, but you know, I'm certainly not going to demand that. All right, I do want to put, I think I want to put a seal glaze on this, just to, Jesus Christ. Honestly, did you see, like, how did that even happen? How did that happen, y'all? It's like it jumped out of my hands. I'm gonna have to watch the replay when I prep the video for posting it onto YouTube. Oh my gosh. I mean, I am truly talented. Truly talented. Majestic. That's me. Graceful. Y'all better appreciate this. All right. We'll just clean this up and then put a seal glaze on. My little smudge-free top coat. Gotta clip that, yeah. You know, maybe that'll just end up as a separate reel on Instagram too. Who knows? I can clip that part and post it as a short on YouTube. I am so good at this. Oh. I put this in, because this seal glaze that I'm using came in like a refill bottle, and so I transferred it to a regular, like brand new empty bottle that I had. Of course, I have a bunch of them because I occasionally like to make nail polish. And the only problem with them, I think I need to like do something to clean the brushes before I add them to things. It's not been a problem when I've used them for regular nail polish. I think I only see it when I use it for water-based nail polishes. So like the DRK Seal Glaze, which is what I'm using here, and my my DIY Peely base that I make. I get the same thing with that, but it's like a weird like coating forms on the individual bristles, only when the brush is brand new. So I think there must be some kind of coating on them that's reacting to the alcohol, and like forming a little skin that then ends up needing to be pulled out. It's a little weird. Not entirely sure what's going on with that. Yeah, I might have, see, I'm not sure, Kat. Like, maybe alcohol is the right thing to clean it with, but maybe acetone is better. Because if it's the alcohol that it's reacting to in the DIY and the Seal Glaze, then cleaning it with alcohol won't help. So I might try cleaning it with acetone and see if I end up with the same issue or not. Okay, I need a new one of these because I used my other one. And I have fuzz on this nail because, once again, just like last week, I forgot the Seal Glaze is a little bit sticky, and if you grab your cotton pads with your slightly sticky nails, guess what happens? You get fuzz on them. And now I have like nail polish and fuzz everywhere. This is the part of the stream where everything falls apart. Peggy loses her shit. All right. It's probably dry enough to go ahead with the top coat now. It's probably fine. And if it's not, then I guess I'll just have some nice bubbles in this nail art. That's okay too. That's just a thing that happens. Trying to take a Zen approach to all the little mistakes I make when I'm doing my nails, you know? Like maybe if I reach for Zen with my words, I can attain that level of feeling and not be inwardly raging. You just keep refilling an older Holotaco Peely base bottle. It was Holotaco, now it's BDL, it will become DIY. That's probably a reasonable idea. I think I started doing the DIY when I still had a Holotaco Peely base bottle going, because I wanted to have some overlap where if I didn't like the DIY, I still had a little bit of time to purchase a new bottle of the Holotaco one. I wouldn't be stuck using the DIY, but then I ended up really liking the DIY, so yeah. So I did not reuse the bottle. I still have the bottle. Polished bookworm just in time for top coat. Welcome. Yeah, you missed all the booby action, but you know, at least you can still see the finished results of the booby action. I learned that raccoon eyes is a term for boobies because of tan lines. So there you go. Maybe you already knew that, but I didn't. You know, it's probably because as a Canadian, I've never seen tan lines. It's not true. Obviously, I've seen tan lines. We get tans in Canada, okay?
Second Tuesday in June.
Second Tuesday in June, that's right, babe. Oh, and we got May May has just joined as well. Y'all are showing up right at the last second just to see the final results. But at least now I'm posting the VODs on YouTube, which is so much easier to watch them on. It's like 1,000,000 times easier to watch the VODs on YouTube.
Do you really call them VODs?
What do you mean, do you really call them VODs?
Like video on demand?
Yeah, it's video on demand. It's a VOD.
Oh God.
Brian is horrified that the streams when posted later are called VODs.
We have podcasts and VODs, but we don't have vodcasts.
That's right, we don't have vodcasts.
Okay.
Oh my god, the flag is red and white because that's the only color? Yeah, fully. Yeah, Ray, the only time I've ever managed to have tan lines is when I went to Mexico. The rest of the time I just get burn lines. I need like a dedicated amount of time in a place where there's enough sun that I can stay in the shade the whole time and still manage to get a tan from the indirect sunshine. Yeah, May May and Kat are both backing me up that it is called a VOD. May May, you saw a new beetle friend. Yay, thank you for taking photos for me. I'm looking forward to seeing your beetle friend. Maybe it'll be a species that I don't get to see here. That would be exciting. All right, that's it for the boobies, y'all. We're done with the boobies stream. I'm gonna go. If anybody has anything they need to say about boobies, you know, maybe nothing too inappropriate, you can post it in the comments once this gets put up. And yeah, if you missed some or all of this stream, you'll be able to watch it either here or on my YouTube channel, where hopefully I'll be able to post it tomorrow. All right, thanks everybody. Bye. Marie, good luck with your boobies. Manny, bye. Hey, and it's the YouTube camera. Get a nice little better close-up, little better view. Get this other hand up there. All right. Bye.